back in 2017, I started my business, my insurance business in Pennsylvania. And I did a, a little video about this a long time ago where I talked about if you are a mom with kids, how do you financially feasibly start a business? Now with the way social media is versus the way it was in 2017, there was a little bit different approach to it in 2017, but regardless, you still need money to live. You need to pay for diapers, you need to pay for food, you need to pay for um, daycare. Even now versus what it was back then, it's vastly different. So back then, what I paid is less for two kids than what I pay for one kid now. So you still need funds to survive, and it's very difficult in the beginning, especially if you have kids. So I was a single mom with two kids, and I did a few things to help me get in a better financial position and to get that business started that I knew was going to give me a better outlook on life in my future versus me going to work. So, and the flexibility that I really wanted. One of the things that I did was I pulled out a home equity loan on my house. So start there. I bought a house when I was 21, and I was able to pull a little bit of equity out of it, $10,000, and it was a revolving. So it was a HELOC. It was a home equity line of credit, which is revolving, which means I could use it and pay it off like a credit card. And I did that. I used that for my, like, I paid for my signage with it. I could write checks from it, and I paid $1,000 for my sign for it when I first opened up. That is the game changer right there. Being, first of all, opening a house, having a house that you can live in is a game changer right there, because you're not responsible for, there's going to be difference between what you pay on your house versus your rent. Usually your mortgage is cheaper than your rent. At least at that time it was, or somewhere close to it, right? And then as things go up, your mortgage stays the same. Now, I couldn't afford my mortgage at the time, so I also house hacked in 2017 with two kids. My best friend moved in with me and her 4 kids. So it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that we house hacked. Basically, me and her lived together. And we had 6 kids in the house and 2 adults in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It was a city house, but we split everything down the middle. So my mortgage at the time was $600. I know it's crazy, but it was a cheap house, too, city house, so I paid $50,000 for it. She paid me $300 in cash to pay towards the mortgage. Then we had to split the utilities each month. That way, I couldn't not pay a utility and skip a month because I wouldn't know what balance she paid me. So we pay the utilities every month, and my portion of the utilities, I actually used credit cards to pay the utilities. So whatever cash she gave me, I took it, put it in my bank account to pay my side of the mortgage, and I paid the utilities with credit cards. And then every month, the credit cards would go down just a little bit, and then I would use the credit cards again to make the utility payments. Again, because they were literally maxed out at $50,000 for, I don't know, 5 years, until I actually sold that home and used that money to pay off the debt that I had, which was the credit card debt. So number 2 was I had access to a lot of capital because I worked on my credit since I was 18, and I literally got as many credit cards as I possibly could as soon as I opened my business. In my business name, in my name, whatever I could get. And as soon as the one credit card declined me, then I stopped. But I opened as many lines of credit as possible. And that's because I used them to literally survive the first, probably 4 years of my business. Because obviously when you start a business, you have to break even. You want to at least pay your bills at the business, which I was able to do. And then, eventually I was able to take money home from the business. And as soon as I earned money from the business, I put it away. I either bought another house, like a rental property, or I upgraded my car. But I stayed Toyota because Toyotas are the most reliable cars. So these are your things that you take home is credit, Toyota, buy a house as soon as possible so you can use the equity in the future, and house hacking. House hacking is smart because you save your expenses, right? And credit because you need money to survive. I needed money to take care of my kids. I needed money to start my business. I needed money to, just maintain a lifestyle, which wasn't an extravagant lifestyle, just bare minimum. But that's how I did it. So if you always think, oh my God, I don't have money, I don't have anybody to borrow from, these are steps that you can take to really get a business started. It's not, a lot of people max their credit cards out starting a business, but you have to really know where you're going.